Hello, I'm going to discuss with you on how to remove polish using a remover pad. The things that you will need is you'll need your GelMoment file, which has the buffing side on the one side and the coarse side on the other. You'll need your remover tool. You'll also need a remover pad, and I highly recommend the remover clips, and I'll get to why in just a bit. So I'm just going to move some things out of the way here. So a little bit about our remover pads. Our remover pads actually is acetone inside, but it has a 39% acetone as opposed to the 100% acetone that you normally find in salons. So it's a lot better for you. Our acetone is actually a safer derivative from what you would find in the salons, and ours also includes a little bit of aloe to help moisturize those cuticles. So let's get right to it. What you do first, you can see that I have a little bit of a jibber jabberish nails going on right here because I'm working on a new manicure. So I am going to be removing these 3 fingers here, just the finger polish, the fingernails, not the fingers. And we're going to start with the pinky here. So what you want to do first before you put the pad on is buff the shine off the nail. Okay, so you can use the buffing side of the nail, which is the nail file, which is the spongy side, and just buff the shine off the nail and make sure you get all into the corners. It doesn't matter if you're going against the grain here because you're just affecting the polish. Normally when you're buffing your nails before you put the polish on, you're going to be buffing from the cuticles down to the tip, but because we're only affecting the polish, you just basically just do this. Okay, now onto the corner here. Now with this one, I have several layers of polish on here because I did some nail art. I would probably use the coarse side to remove the polish on here and just to get as much of the polish off the nail as possible before I actually put the pad on. This one just has 2 coats of polish on, so just buffing will be sufficient, okay? So then what you do is you're going to take your pad and rip along the dotted line. And inside you will see a little pad inside. So we're going to keep that in there. And on this side, you see that we have a little bit of a strip. So we peel that off, and when you peel that off, there's some sticky residue behind. So I'll show you what to do with that. So put this down below. I'm just gonna get my finger in there. So there's the pad in here. I'm gonna stick my finger underneath. This is the sticky residue here. So you're gonna fold it over, and then you're gonna fold this over as well. And so now that you'll see that it actually sticks there nicely. Okay, and I just fold this over and give it a good squeeze because you want to have a good contact. If you don't have the remover pads, then just make sure that you have a good contact here because you want this making contact with your nail bed to lift the polish. Now these remover clips are great for keeping the pads in place. You can actually walk around the house, so they just pop open and then snap shut. It also keeps a constant pressure of the pad on your nails, so that I would say that it actually reduces the amount of time that you need to keep the pad on because it keeps that constant pressure. So in about 5 minutes, we'll check on this and then I'll remove the polish for you. Okay, so 5 minutes has passed and we're going to take a look to see what the condition of our polish is under here. Just a little tip about the length of time that you actually put the remover pad on. You want to check to see after 5 minutes and time yourself if you need to, because I know we can get distracted with a few things. Time yourself after 5 minutes and make sure that you check to see how much polish can come off. If you keep this on for 10 minutes or longer, then what can actually happen is the pad will re-cure the polish on your nail and make it more difficult to turn or to take off. So we don't want to do that. So with the remover clips, we just snap it off and then we're going to take our pad off. So now what I always do with these pads is because I use the 5 pads on one hand and then I use those same 5 pads on this hand. So when you take this remover pad off, there's plenty of solution left in here to remove polish on another finger. So I always roll it up and then I will have the 5 rolled up here and then take the polish off this hand and then use the same 5 on this hand. Okay, all right, so we're gonna see if we can take this polish off. So I'm gonna use this end here and just do a little bit of a back and forth motion. You can see that it's just coming off really easily. I am not pressing I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm basically as if I was writing with a pen and paper on with a pen. I'm not pressing any harder than that. I'm just doing a back and forth motion and just gently taking the polish off. If you have to press any harder than that, then I would take what you can take off for the polish and put the pad on for another 2 to 3 minutes, no longer, and it should take off the rest of the polish after that. So just gonna get into the corners here. Get right into there. And that's pretty much it. Just a little bit left in this corner here. Now, you also want to get rid of what's underneath the capping, underneath your nail if you have any capping left. So I just turn my nail over and I flip it that way and get the stuff off the edge. That's it. Oh, a little bit here. So you can use your tool to get to the little pieces if you have any left. I have a little bit on the edge here. Or you can just take your buffer and then buff from the cuticle down to the tip slightly just to get any kind of residual off. Give it a little bit of a cleaning with a cleanser pad, and then you have your nail underneath. And it's nice and healthy. So it looks a little bit dry here, and that's because we were using the acetone. So I always have a little bit of cuticle oil that I put on my nails after, and this is just the Citrus Breeze one that I have here. So I put the cuticle oil on here. Actually, I'll just do it for you right now. So I put the cuticle oil up to here and also up to my first knuckle, because your nail bed actually starts right about here, and the cuticle oil will absorb in and basically give your nail the benefits that it will do with enriching and making your nail nice and healthy when it grows in. That's it. Thanks for tuning in.